So guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we have the keys to this 2004 VW Passat. Now, as diesel sort of budget cars go, this is probably one of the best cars you can buy on the market. You know, £1,000, sub £1,000. This one right now is up for £1,500, and I think it's an absolute bargain. If you're a young driver and you want to get into something that's economical and cheap to insure, but very, very budget friendly to actually modify, one of these Passats might be something for you. And if you're a little bit older and you want something that's a good diesel daily, again, cheap to modify, and again, very, very cheap to run, this could be one of the cars for you. But as ever guys, let's start with a quick walk round. Now I'm going to start with the front end. The High Line, which is what this is definitely the one to go for, mainly because you get a lot more stuff. It has leather, heated seats, all that sort of stuff. But the facelift B5.5, which is what this is, has this lovely chrome trim. I think they've aged quite well as well. This is a 2004 model, of course. It looks still pretty good. This one is in exceptionally good condition. Yes, it is one of those things that you have to go and look at to see what you're actually buying, but rust here and there on these cars is one of those things to look out for. So if you are actually interested in buying one of these, just check the panels, make sure they're not too rusty. These do stand the test of time, though. This one has 158,000 miles on it. Yeah, I get it. Yeah, I understand that is a lot of mileage on a car. For some people, I personally don't think that's that much. This one isn't showing its age, in my opinion. It isn't showing its mileage either. It is in fantastic condition. So yeah, if you're after one, again, these are flooded on the market. There is a lot of them, but just look out for rust, I suppose. This one does have projector xenon headlights, which again is something I would personally try and find. And if I just walk out the way, it has a badgeless grille, which is available on eBay for just £30. Again, it is incredibly cheap to actually modify one of these Passats. Now, as you can see, this is actually lowered, this car. It's on FK coilovers from good old eBay. They were just under £200, including delivery. And again, as you'll see in the driving portion, this car doesn't crash about. It sits absolutely lovely, and it's still incredibly comfortable. You can see it's actually sat on 3SDM wheels. Again, a very budget-friendly wheel choice that you can find for next to nothing on the second-hand market. Again, this wheel and tyre package can be bought incredibly cheap. Now, coming to the rear end of this car, very basic Passat VW. Now, the livery, I will point out the livery. This is actually harping back to a Julian Luce. If you don't know him, you should definitely check out his Instagram. He did this on his RS6 a few years ago. I think it works. It's very, very cheap to do this to a car and easily reversible, so I would just like to say that that's a really good idea. And you know, the VW scene, Adidas, Nike, you know, branding your car is quite a cool thing. But I have to avert your eyes to just there, straight through exhaust system on this diesel. It sounds fantastic, doesn't drone, but again, we'll get into that once we start driving it. But another very cheap mod, because obviously if you're just going to put some straight pipe on a car, it's a lot cheaper than putting a Miltech on like a Golf R or something. Now, jumping in the Passat, this is where you're going to spend, of course, most of your time, because you're going to be driving this thing a lot, because it gets around 45 mpg, which again, coming from an RS3 owner that's in like the 18 mpg, this is a very, very good shout for a daily. Now, this is of course a manual 5-speed, but this has what we would call a winter pack on it. So it has the heated seats. Of course, the High Line will be the best version of this Passat, so it will come with heated seats. It has the full leather interior armrest that goes backwards and forwards as well. You've got cup holders down here, and as interiors go, not only is this really, really comfortable, incredibly luxurious, considering we're going to revert back. It's like £1,500 this car is. It's insane, and it's just simple. It's got the climate control as well, which again, if I was to go and buy one of these tomorrow, I'll try and find a High Line and try and find one full leather heated seats with the climate control. At the end of the day, it's not going to cost you any more money to get one with climate control. Now, I'm going to avert your eyes to the steering wheel. This is another incredibly cheap, really, mod that would change the interior of any car. These have a very cumbersome and not very nice steering wheel in them. I'm going to say that out loud. It is just one of those things. But a nice Momo. This is a very, very small one as well. It does fit in with the interior in a weird way. And just behind that, we do have a cheeky boost gauge, because this has a stage 1 evolution remap on it, so it's not the basic 130 brake horsepower that these actually come out of the factory with. This is 180 brake horsepower at around 300 foot-pound of torque. I've driven this here and it is very, very quick for what it is. Remember, this is a 1.9, you know, turbo diesel, and the torque comes in and it reins in incredibly quickly. So again, a fantastically cheap daily young driver's car if you want to drive a diesel Passat around when you're young. It is something to talk about. It's something that I think everybody here and I know would be able to afford as a daily, or maybe a second car, or however you want to spin it. But let's take this on the road, let's see what it's like, let's see what the power's like, let's see how comfortable it is, especially on the slightly cheaper coilovers. And yeah, take it down some B roads, why not? So, what's it like to drive? Woo. Now, of course, as I do my window up, I've actually had that window down the whole way here to this road, listening to the exhaust. There's a good amount of torque and power, as well as a fantastic note coming out the back of this 1.9 litre turbocharged diesel engine. It's like freight training through the gears. I think if you short shift, it's a lot faster. You don't need to rev this car out whatsoever. Yes, I understand. I am currently B-road bashing a £1,000 or £1,500 Passat, which is, I understand, it isn't the most exciting car, and it's going to be large and cumbersome going down the road, and it is going to be not as exciting as a sports car, but for the sake of 1,500 quid, right, and a good set of 200 quid coilovers from the good old eBay, this doesn't actually perform that bad. Yes, most people won't be smashing B roads, or at least, you know, enjoying a B road in one of these. You will be daily driving it, so I get that. The other side of this is that it is an incredibly comfortable car. For the money, I'm going to keep referring back, because obviously this is a budget review on a budget car, and I think for the sake of 1,500 quid, guys, just having one of these sat there, doing the daily duties, it is horrendously good value for money, this. It is so comfortable. It is, we put it in fifth, quiet, even though this has got a straight through exhaust system, as in there is nothing in the way but a pipe. It is silent when you want it to be, and then of course we'll select third gear. It sounds fantastic. Yes, it's a 1.9 litre diesel, I get that. It's not supposed to be going fast, and it's not supposed to be sounding good, but for what it is, even the boost gauge in front of me is like bap, bap, every time you come on boost. As an all-rounder then, let's talk about all-rounders. The price, phenomenal value for money in this car. You've got to remember that some people, yes, if they have £2,000 in their bank account, will go and finance an A45, a Golf R, blah, blah. You can put £2,000 down on those cars, £400 a month, it's all good. But if you're the other side of it and you just want to pay outright for a car, this is what you're going to be getting. You're going to be getting something that is still comfortable. Yes, it's a little bit older, but you can freely modify and enjoy this thing on a budget. It is insanely good to jump in something like this that has budget modification that anybody out there can go and enjoy. You can jump on eBay and buy, you know, little bits and bobs for this car for next to nothing. The grille up front, 30 quid. The spoilers on the back, 30 and 15 pounds for styling points. If you want to stance it out, FK coilovers again are under £200 posted to your house. You can get some stancy lovely wheels. These wheels were incredibly cheap. Yes, the owner Ian has obviously gone in and painted them and put lovely tyres on them, but it is incredibly cheap to find these wheels and tyres on the second-hand market for these cars. So the ownership side today, B-Road bashing, we're getting 37 mpg. 37 mpg on a run. Ian was saying he's got around 45 to 50 on the motorway, so that is fantastic numbers. And for a full tank, which is £55 of diesel,
in the UK right now with, you know, how much diesel is. It will get 550 miles. 550 miles. So yeah, the reality is you're getting such a bargain here. It sounds good, it's comfortable, can get everybody in it. Yes, it is down to obviously the person that is buying it, whether you want a Passat or not, or you could go for a Mondeo like I've recently shot for a channel. Same sort of price bracket really. I personally would go with Passat because I like the dubs and I love the German stuff, especially for dependability. One, because I think these are relatively reliable. 158,000 miles this has got on it, and it drives absolutely lovely. Styling points, again, cheap, very, very cheap to modify this thing. And availability, you can buy these for sub £1,000, yes, with no modifications on them, or, you know, various bits and bobs wrong with them. You can get them for 500 quid if they're not running. This one is all together, it is ready to go, it is modified, it's had the money spent on it. It is a lovely example, and it's only £1,500. That is a bargain. So yeah, if you're after one and you're a young driver and you want something to just cruise in and stance out and go to shows in, this is perfect. It's exactly what the owner did. He wanted a daily that was sort of stancy and very, very cheap to modify and build. Anyway guys, if you did like this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe. Tell me, do you like these budget reviews? Because I love driving cars like this but built out of literally no money. And make sure you like and subscribe. I'll see you all on the next one.